Want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakadash. Peace and honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who teach us this truth, this 100% truth, 144% truth. The elders that labor in night and day, making sure that we are equipped to make these lessons go out on the highways of hazards. I want to give peace and salutations to all the men that support other men in GMS. And peace and salutations to all the Aqua that listen in silent. And peace and salutations to all the remnant that might look like these other nations, but they are in fact descendant bloodline of the Hebrew Israelites. May this lesson be edifying to all the Akim, all the Aqua. Shalom.
Searched his home that same day. They found in his bedroom closet the 3D printer he had used to make the ghost gun. The second gun was a day later. A different student was found with a handgun in his locker. It had 30 rounds and also a switch on it to convert it to a machine gun and make it fire much faster. When deputies searched his home later, they found 6 more guns, 4 of which were in his bedroom. Because of this, the school shut down early yesterday around 10 a.m. All the students were sent home without their book bags. That way, the sheriff's office could bring in gun-sniffing dogs to search the rest of the building and make sure there were no other firearms.
This is unacceptable behavior. The fact that multiple students have access to loaded firearms should stop everyone in their tracks.
I'm here at St. Charles High School where 2 guns have been found in 2 days. Now, the first gun was a loaded ghost gun found in a student's waistband. He also had a vape on him and tried to run away when he was being searched. When deputies searched his home that same day, they found in his bedroom closet the 3D printer he had used to make the ghost gun. The second
Spring. For centuries, but no nation has embraced the firearm as much as the United States. Of the 857 million civilian-owned guns in the world, Americans own nearly half of them. But what's behind our obsession with firearms?
As a crime reporter, I wanted to show how easy it is for the average American to buy a gun.
This is our colleague, Andy Campbell. In 2016, Andy traveled to Orlando after the Pulse nightclub shooting,
Which was, at the time, one of the worst shootings in American history.
to see how easily he could buy a gun. And not just any gun. Andy wanted to buy this country's most popular assault rifle, the AR-15.
It looks like a military-style weapon. It's supposed to look intimidating. It's supposed to be scary. It's supposed to put you off guard. This type of marketing makes these types of guns fly off the shelves. It makes them attractive to young people.
The National Rifle Association calls it America's rifle and claims it's often used for hunting. The truth is,
Its only use is to kill people. There's no reason to use a semi-automatic gun to kill a deer, for instance.
so how long did it take Andy to buy an AR-15 military-style semi-automatic assault rifle? We'll get back to that. Before we talk about buying a gun in the 21st century, we first need to go back to the 18th century, where guns were
unreliable, they were perishable, they were very unwieldy. Many of them only lasted a year or so. They were prone to rust and rot, water damage of different kinds.
This is Priya Sathya, a professor at Stanford University who studies the history of firearms.
So when the American colonies rebelled against Britain in the 1770s, they could no longer count on getting firearms from the British for obvious reasons. And then after the war is over, it becomes a kind of government priority to invest in firearms manufacturing capacity within the newly independent United States.
So Americans made their own, thanks in part to George Washington's foresight.
George Washington really spearheads this effort to create government-run firearms factories.
Then, in the 19th century,
You see those developing into large capacity factories.
this begins America's long history as a dominant firearms manufacturer. By the time the Civil War has ended, America
And they buy AR-15s en masse.
To stop a bad guy with a gun, it takes a good guy with a gun.
and in turn, a vicious cycle continues.
We ain't gonna let this little thing with this Bible be took it down to stop all this stuff. We're going to keep this thing rolling. So this is second asterisk right here. And it's kind of good that this is going like this. This is showing you what times we're in. This is the Apocrypha. Hope that you got a copy. Because before you know, they're going to stop sending all these books out. This is chapter 15. And we're going to start right here in 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction dwelleth nigh. And one person shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand. Let's pause it right there. So as you see how stuff is going, you know, America has a reputation of having a lot of guns. You know, the West was won by guns and shotguns and all this stuff. So just like I was saying in that early video that I made a few days ago, in the wake-up call, that people don't need gun shops. People can make their own weapons. I'm not going to show more because if I probably show more, they'll probably, I don't want to bring shame to this ministry, but trust me, it's ways that people, if they want to get their sick gun on, they can. And they don't hide it because, if they really want to hide it, you won't be able to show videos on YouTube. But they want it to be like that because they know what people are going to do. Let's just keep it real. All right. Now let me continue. All right. Right, and that. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings, princesses, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And as it also brings up that a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to, because of the pride of the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So imagine all these people out here, and they said it was a kid that did this. A kid. Imagine people that are gun craftsmen. Imagine it's so many things like this going undetected, being made. Man, it's going to be crazy. And a lot of people do bury guns in dirt and stuff like that. So don't get it twisted. This is to show you how things are going to get. This is not going to be some cakewalk that, people are just going to, they think they're going to catch everyone. And when all this stuff goes crazy down during Jacob's trouble, I said I wanted to do a video on this, and look, this pops right up. That shows you how Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai works. You talk about it, you think about it, and boom, the Heavenly Father puts it there for me to do a video. All right, this is second Esdras, and we're in chapter 16. All right, and we're going to go into 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next city a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. You see what this is saying? It says they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Now, think about that in a sense. It says they're going to be spoiling those that fear the Lord. Now, why would they try to spoil those that fear the Lord? because only the Lord's people are going to be fed during those times, and they're going to see it. That's why it's going to be a time of Jacob's trouble towards even the saints. But we will persevere through that. They shall be like madmen. Oh, I already read that. Salakia. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their house. Now, this applies to all people that it's going to be happening to. Even some of the chosen ones. That this stuff is going to happen to us. But Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to make a way that we can make it out of it. And that's what we must look forward to. So I hope that this lesson was edifying. To all the Akim, may you stay strong. May you pray for all the elders and the bishops and apostles of Great Millstone. And for fellow brothers, may you pray for them. And pray for the Akim that are in silence. Because in these last days, that is all what we are left with, is our faith and our prayers to our fellow brethren. So let's make sure that we do that. Shalom.